Hello, hello, folks. Happy Saturday morning to ya. It's been a minute. I haven't done a live in a while. Wow, it's been a minute. So, first, let's do a tech check. Let me make sure that y'all can see and hear me. If you can see and hear me, drop a note in the comments. Let me know if you're on YouTube, if you are on Facebook. Let me know where you're connecting from. What city or country are you in? If you can hear and see me, want to make sure all my tech stuff is working. It looks like it's working, but I need to see some comments so that I know you're here. Because we're going to talk about dreams, all these weird ass dreams that you've been having, all these weird ass dreams that you all have been calling and messaging me saying, I'm in your dream. That's why I can't sleep. Hey, Judy. Hey, DST16. Thank you, baby. She said my hair was cute. So Judy's in Beaufort. G5205 on YouTube can see and hear me. Thank you. Hey, Jamari. What's up, man? You're in Colorado. Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up on YouTube. Crystal. I know Crystal was like probably the first one up in here. Wait for the thing to start. Hey, Crystal. It's so good to see y'all. It really is. It really is. Okay, so here's what I'm going to ask you to do. If you want to bring your friends in on this conversation so that you don't have to call them later and tell them what we talked about, tag them, forward them this message to them, text them, say, come on in, Facebook or YouTube, drop them that URL. You can also share it to your timeline if you're on Facebook. Even if you're on YouTube, you can share it to your social media so that other folks can see that you're here and join us because we are going to be talking about dreams. We're going to be talking. Oh, there's a lot of South Carolina in here. Okay, so Crystal and Gaston, Valerie. Hey, what's up? And Grant, she says, and she's in Grand Rising from South Carolina. Kathy's in Beaufort, down the street. Hey, Rachel. Welcome, welcome. It's so good to see y'all in here on a Saturday morning. Oh, I forgot. Let me tell my people I'm here. Let me just share my link on my page so people can see that I am here. Hold tight, y'all. If you just joined, drop a note in the comments. Let me know what city, country, state, whatever you are calling from. All right. Let me see. Let me get this, share this link so people on my page can see. I'm trying to share it. Okay, drop it in. Oh, I see more people are here. Jamie, yes. Jamie from DC on YouTube. GGX. Good morning from Maryland. That's what's up. Hey, Yvonne in Colorado. So Jamari's also in Colorado. DSC 16 says DC. Hey, Rukia in the DC area. Pikesville is where GGX is from. Black Velveteen is in Brooklyn. Okay, finally somebody who's not in like DC, Colorado, or South Carolina. Crystal's getting a nice cup of coffee. Monica in Silver Spring. Hey, Shantae in White Plains, Maryland. I owe you a text. I got to fill you in on what's going on. All right. Because when you text me, I was packing, about to go to Asheville for the retreat, and now I forgot to text you back. But I'm going to text you back, Shantae. So it's good to see you all. Don't forget to tag your peeps and share it to the page. We're going to be talking about the weird dreams. We're also going to be talking about why you can't like chat GPT your dream interpretation. That's not the way to go, right? So Crystal, you have coffee, I have tea. I'm drinking today some peppermint tea. Hey, Tucson is in New Jersey. Good to see you up in here. Oh, I forgot to I'm supposed to be sharing this to my other page. Hold on, y'all. Give me a second so I can share this live and let people know that I'm live on my page. Do, 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 do. Okay. Live now. I'm just texting people to say I'm live now. Okay. So we're gonna get into it. Oh, Rachel's in the Collins. Okay. I'll see you. All right. So first, let's just do a little vibe check. How many of you have been having either weird dreams, very intense dreams, even if they're not weird, or very vivid dreams, or are experiencing a different kind of dream than you normally have, or some other change? Like normally you don't remember your dreams, but now you're waking up remembering your dreams, or normally you remember, but now you're sleeping and you're like, I don't even remember having any dreams. Tap two if you are having some kind of weird or change in your dream pattern. Put a two in the comments. Let's see. If you are having weird, intense, or unusual dreams, or something has shifted, tap a two. Oh, look at all these twos. She said all of the above. Crystal said two. Kathy said two. Monica said two. Okay, so it's a lot of y'all. Oh, here come all the twos. GGX said two. G5205 said two. Hey, Sarah. She said very vivid and very intense. Shantae said two. Hey, Trinissa. She said hello, all. Yvonne said two. Shout out to all the rowdy raiders from Eleanor Roosevelt High School. Black Velveteen. Oh, now all the twos are coming in so fast. Hey, Bakari said two. I can't get all of them up there. Okay, so a lot of twos, right? So, okay, I'm not exactly sure what this is. I probably need to talk to some of my Australia astrology friends. Some There's something supposed to be going on, Pluto moving around or whatever. I don't know because this has been going on for a while for me. The last couple of months, but especially the last couple of weeks. Like the other night, I had this dream that Rihanna had moved in next door. We lived in the suburbs, and she moved into the house next door. Her and ASAP Rocky and all their kids, and then we had a snowstorm, and I had to like pack her up some supplies for the baby. Listen, she was very friendly though. We were kicking it. Oh my goodness! So I don't know what's going on. Plus, a lot of you all are saying that I'm popping up in your dream. I don't know what's that about. What that's about because I'm not trying to be doing all that work when I'm asleep, right? Or I'm supposed to be asleep. Okay, so tell me. I know some of you all put twos in there, but tell me what's going on. Okay, so Crystal said Uranus and Gemini is the new transit. Okay, I guess that has something to do with why the dream sphere, the dream world, is a little more active right now. But tell me, I want somebody to tell me in the dream in your comments, like what's happening with the dreams. What is it that's different, or tell me like what's buck wild about the most recent dream you had. Ooh, keep it clean. Keep it R rated, not X rated, because this is Facebook. What's going on with these dreams? And yes, I am going to be doing intuitive readings a little bit, a couple of mini readings a little later. Not right now, but I will be doing those. Now, let me put my name up here. So yeah, so put it in the comments. Like, what is it that's going on with you? What's happening with your dream life? Your actual dream life, not your aspirational dream life, but your actual, your dreams. GGX says, I've been dreaming about all the issues in my life. They seem so real, and I wake up looking what happened. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for that. Kathy said, I'm dreaming about a relationship with a man. I know that's right. And Crystal said, my dreams are more vivid and memorable. And people are seeing me in their dreams. Yeah, so you too. Right. Okay. So Crystal's another one of the spiritual girlies. So, people are dreaming about us. What's going on, Crystal? What else, you guys? What else is happening with your dreams? Also, while you all are typing, so there's different kinds of dreams, right? And dreams can fit multiple categories at the same time. More than one thing can be true at the same time because there are like prophetic dreams of things that are going to happen, or spiritual, insightful dreams like things that have already happened that you didn't know happened, but spirit spelled it out for you in a dream and it's already done. It's like prophetic, but it's already happened. And there are also the dreams that are your subconscious, like trying to work some things out. while you're asleep. One of the reasons, in my opinion, why we get so many dreams and so on is because our bodies and our conscious minds, when we're sleeping, are in less of a state of resistance. So we're very open spiritually in that period of time. GGX says, I keep dreaming about my dead grandmother and being at her house. Okay, yeah, so that is a visitation dream, particularly if someone, an ancestor, deceased loved one, an angel, whatever, visits you in your dream, that's a visitation dream. So you can have a dream that's a visitation that's also prophetic, that's also your subconscious working it out, because things can be true, on multiple levels all at the same time. Black Velveteen says a lot of water activity, a lot of weird stuff. Rihanna and ASAP Rocky for me too. She was trying him like crap and cheating. And Drake was in one. Dreaming about celebrities. Okay, okay, Rihanna's busy too. I wonder if she's visiting a lot of people in their dreams right now. Because that's wild that we both had a dream about Rihanna. Okay, so by the way, I don't typically dream about celebrities. So when I do, I really try to pay attention to that because that's not usual. That's not typical for me. I dream about people I know, people I don't know, and every once in a while an ancestor or somebody will pop up in there. But I don't typically dream about celebrities. So when I do, I usually pay very close attention. A question for you guys: how many of you write your dreams down or keep some kind of dream journal or give yourself a voice note or something most of the time? Put a 4 in the comments if that's you. Sarah said, "Woo, so much. Lots of time travel backwards and forwards." Okay. Miss Timeline Jumper. Jamie says, dreamt of a new G. Okay. Toussaint said, weird double pregnancies, throwing up water, and long past grandmother. It felt so real. Yes. I think some dreams are real. I think it's for some dreams, we're actually in those places in another dimension. So that's why it feels real. It's also why you can't wake up right away because you're not all the way back in your body. When you ever had a dream, either you're scared or something happened and you want to wake up, but you can't wake up yet? That's because you're not back in your body. You left your body, right? You know that, right? You left your body. You were in the dream. The dream was real in another dimension, and you couldn't get back in your body quick enough. It took a minute. Okay. So Rachel says intense. They were violent too, but after seeing my spiritual guru friend on Zoom, we fixed it with crystals and they got less disturbing, but still crazy. Okay. GGX said I kept dreaming about my last relationships and not sure how to move forward. Okay. Jamie said, new family that isn't mine. I know that's right. Crystal said, I'm also getting downloads, but only if I wake up and fall back asleep. Okay, yeah. Oh, okay. So you were supposed to type 4 if you write your dreams or record your dreams. I also am curious. Has anybody else, not just the dreams, but just like Crystal said, is anybody else getting like downloads, like information, whole plans of what to do, or whole songs that you wanted to write? The whole song is there, not just an idea. DST16 said my angels are showing up more and more. People from different aspects of my life showing up in the same scenes, multiple dream sessions in the night. Yeah, okay, that too. I've been having that too, where I might have 3 or 4 distinct dreams in one night, or I'll have a very long dream where there are like whole different segments, like almost like a play where there's acts, different scenes. Bakari, Bakari said, I've cussed people out in 2 different dreams. I'm more conflict avoidant, so cringe watching myself, but also felt relieved. Okay, how many people think Bakari just need to go ahead and speak her truth in real life? So she don't have to cuss people out in the dreams. Oh, that's funny. Okay, she said she's out here cussing people out. That's a throat chakra activation. Jamie said, been dreaming and showed up to work, but in real life, I'm late. Michelle, hey Michelle, said vivid, remembering more and feel more real than my actual life. Jamila Adams, hey Jamila Adams. Rihanna is a Pisces, so very intuitive. Okay, that's good to know. Rachel says an evil entity was pursuing me, but I managed to get it to back off by chanting Hamsa Shiva Soham really loudly. Okay. I'm glad it helped worked out for you. Okay, there's a lot of fours in here. Oh, look at all these fours about people who record and or document their dreams most of the time. Crystal said quantum healing has been coming up for me, not in my dreams, but in my meditations. Okay. Bakari said, and Tracy Ellis Ross was one of the folks who triggered a cuss out. Another celebrity. She walked in my apartment with shoes on, and this is a shoes off household. Note to self: if I ever visit Bakari, be sure to take my shoes off. Black Velveteen said, yes, I definitely travel a lot. Yep, these dream spaces, like all the astral travel and all that. Sarah said yes. GGX said yes. Shantae said, recently I woke up out of a dream, or perhaps was still dreaming, but there was a male figure in my room dressed in all white. I wasn't scared, and then I heard conversations in another language. Okay, so that's really interesting that there may have been a presence, that you sensed the presence, might have been a visitation. If you haven't written down the dream, write down as much as you can about that, and also about as much detail as you can about the presence that was there. Conversations in another language. Okay, that's a whole. Who else has either heard or spoken conversations in an entirely different language that you are not currently fluent in real life? So either a language that you've heard of but don't speak, such as, French, Spanish, whatever, Italian, or some language that you don't even know the name of it, but clearly it was being spoken in the dream and you understood everything or were speaking it as well. Put a 7 if your dreams have involved languages that you don't currently speak. That's happened to me where I've had complete dreams in French and deep French, where I was conversational and everything. And I did study French and I minored in French in college, but I'm not fluent and I can't speak like that. But in the dream, I was just like, which was fascinating to me. Shantae said, I keep having dreams of loved ones past. Tucson said, I wish. GGX said, but when I wake up, I can't remember everything. Yes. Crystal also had a message for Bakari. Speak your truth. Valerie said, my dreams have been visiting from ancestors, answering the questions of how and what to do during this time of my life since turning 70 years young in March. First of all, happy birthday. That's amazing. 70 years young. Yep, these ancestors are real loud right now. Okay, Crystal was saying something about, I'm catching up on the comments. Crystal was saying something about Uranus and Gemini throat chakra. Susu is here. Good morning. I'm having very vivid dreams of visiting different environments, ones I've been to, and crystals that I have. We're broken into pieces. Yes. Rachel said, yes, the epic long storyline dreams. Tucson said, speaking of celebrities, I dreamt of Sterling K. Brown and Andre 3000 separately. Both very nice dreams. Okay. Okay. Mm. Rukia said, I've been remembering old dreams. Also, my son and I had the same dream. Ooh, okay. A couple of people have mentioned that to me recently, that themselves and a loved one have received the same dream at the same time. And then, a day or two later, they're talking and they're realizing, wait a minute, we had the same dream. That's awesome. Sarah says, celebrities stay in my dreams. I've dated Usher, been married to 50 Cent. Delivered Rihanna's baby. There's Rihanna again. Was a doula for Kim Kardashian. Went to the spa with Brandy and led a group of underground warriors with Viola Davis and my dad. Floated on the water with Maya Angelou and my grandma. Sarah, you're doing the most. By the way, in real life, Sarah is a midwife and used to be a doula. So she's out here delivering babies in the spirit world too. That's wild. That's wild. Okay, so type 7 if you ever have dreams that involve other languages. Type of 7. Okay. Oh, this is so fun, you guys. All right. So, before we get to some readings, because I'm going to sprinkle out some readings here and there, I want to know, like, what are your biggest questions about dreams, or what's confounding you? Let's talk about that. What's confounding you? What's got you like wondering? By the way, I'm really thinking about doing a like detailed workshop on dream interpretation. Because I'm really frustrated by some of the things I'm seeing out here in these internet streets that's just bogus. A lot of AI generated stuff, a list of what this dream means this and this symbol means that. And those are fine. And there are some things symbolically that have a common thread. But most of the time, these big dream dictionaries don't really take into consideration your own personal symbolism, your own personal life experiences, and also your culture. So you see a three-legged toad in one culture that has a specific meaning, but that might not apply to you. You know what I'm saying? So I think number one, a lot of those interpretations are really, really generic, and that's problematic. But also they don't really get into like what um your own subconscious is trying to tell you, what your higher self, because a lot of time dreams are language between your god voice, your god self, your higher self, your intuition, and your current conscious self. But these random interpretations don't really like account for that. Oh, there's a couple sevens in here. Michelle said seven. That was for languages. Judy said, I'm usually meeting people in my dreams lately. I'm also wondering, like, is this a throat chakra thing? What's going on with that? Let me see what else is going on. My ring just got stuck on something, so I'm trying to unstick it, but I'm gonna leave it alone. All right. I don't know how to interpret my dreams, says GGX. I've had a lot of dreams that came to pass, mostly death. That last conversation I had with my stepdad was very disturbing. I asked God, how am I going to dot dot dot? I don't know where the rest is. Kathy said I'm semi-awake in a lot of my dreams. Yeah, those are like that's a different space actually. That's when you're semi-awake, that state in between sleeping and dreaming. I mean, sleeping and wake. That's that's a little different than a dream because that's a little more active actually. So that yeah, that's a whole other category. That's a little more like on the vision side. It is a dream, but it's not a dream. Does that make sense? Oh, GGX was finishing about her stepdad. To face him when I see him again. I had a dream that he died, and a month later he died. Yeah, yeah, that's real. Was that scary for you to have a dream come true with a premonition like that? Sarah said, there's three or four dreams or dream scenarios that keep repeating. Sometimes exactly the same. Sometimes the scenario is different, i.e., day versus night, raining versus not raining. I keep going back to places from my childhood, especially my grandparents' home, where I felt safe, or return to another childhood home where I did not feel safe. Sarah said same. Okay, yeah, that's interesting. Like visiting places. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit about that. Um, Sometimes when you're visiting your childhood home, it is symbolic of that season of your life, the energy of that season in your life, right? There's no one definitive meaning for this happened in a dream. For everyone. I know that for me, certain things mean certain things, but that's for me and my dreams. That might not apply to other people. I know that when I see live swimming fish, somebody is definitely pregnant or about to get pregnant. That is been proven for like 30 plus years to the point where my friends are scared of my fish dreams, right? And I learned about that from my mother, who said that my grandmother and great grandmother also had fish dreams, and that meant that someone was pregnant. Because the first time I was aware of having one, I may have had them before, I didn't know it, and didn't register because I didn't know it was significant. I was maybe 23 ish. I remember talking to my mom on the phone. I was like, yeah, and I had this dream, and all these minnows were, thousands and thousands of minnows were swimming. And she was like, yeah, that's a fish dream. And I'm like, yeah, there was fish in it. There was, she said, no, that means something. And she explained about my grandmother and great grandmother. And ever since then, and right after that, about 6 to 8 weeks later, like five of my friends ended up pregnant. This was like 1996, I think. And so it was right after that blizzard that we had in spring of 96. So months later, a bunch of people got pregnant or showed up pregnant. And that's just the pregnancies we know about, right? So, I mean, that's also a cultural thing where fishes, live swimming fish can mean something. But for me, when I dream that someone is pregnant, myself or someone else, it doesn't actually mean physical pregnancy. It means new beginning. So that's just me and my personal dream symbolism, but yours might be different. And so going back to the comment about childhood homes or other things like that, like when that happens, write down what were you feeling, what was the energy of that home? What does that home represent for you? Does it represent safety and love and nurturing? Or is it scary or dangerous or traumatic? Write that down because a lot of times dreams can be literal, but dreams are also very symbolic. And sometimes something or someone that shows up in a dream, it's really not about the thing, but about the energy of the thing. Like, what for all of us who are dreaming about Rihanna, what is the energy of Rihanna? What does she represent to you? Not to the world, but to you. What, and then write that down and then see how that interacts with see how you interacted with that energy, not necessarily the person, but the energy. The same thing for people who are pop up in your dream who are not famous, but what is the energy of the person? Sometimes the dream is about that person specifically, but sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's like, oh, that's someone I admire and they're wise and brave and whatever. Write down the energy of the person, right? And then look at the dream from that perspective. Okay, let's see what this take some comments. GGX said, I had a dream my coworker's mother died and woke up the next morning and it was my classmate mother that died. Yeah, isn't that scary? Well, maybe it's not for you, but for a lot of people, it can be very disconcerting to dream about death, have a prophetic dream, and then either have that person or someone else pass away. Right. So yeah, that can be. How did you handle that? How did you once you found the news? How did that affect you? Let's see these comments here. DSC, can you talk further about the dreams before waking up? I have both very deep dreams and then light ones right before my alarm wakes up. Yeah, it's just a different state of consciousness. So, some because you're partially awake, sometimes it's a dream, sometimes it's a vision, sometimes it's an out of body experience. It really depends on what happened and how you felt. And I'm curious if, in those cases, right before your alarm wakes up, are you aware of the passing of time? Do you know what time it is? Like, I have a few more minutes. Are you able to get back into your body? I'm just curious about your experience. GGS said, I also had my daughter in 1996. That was a very fertile year for a lot of folks, Gen X and older millennials. She says, when I dream about my childhood home, I play the address, usually hit the number or miss number if I forgot to play it. Okay, let's talk about that because some of y'all dream about numbers, lottery numbers and whatnot, lucky numbers. And let me tell you, that is a gift and a skill because I have been trying, me and Spirit got a pretty good relationship as far as information is concerned. That's why I'm a professional psychic because they be giving me messages. I keep asking for lottery numbers. They don't really like to give me lottery numbers because I've been asking for 20 something years. And they're just like, yeah, not my ministry. But I know some other folks on this call who shall remain nameless get dreams or get other information. Oh, about dreaming about someone who passed. GGX says I was devastated and scared. Yeah, I can understand that. Rukia said recently Rihanna was interviewed on the Met Gala red carpet, and instead of answering questions from the interviewer, she asked the interviewer how she was doing and celebrated her. Oh, that's awesome. I love the fact that Rihanna just does her own thing. Like, I love that about her. Industry disruptor, mad creative, but not just on the musical side. She has disrupted three different industries. She has disrupted the music industry, but especially the cosmetic industry and the fashion industry through Savage Fenty. Like, she is not to be played with. That's why she's a billionaire, and she's from Barbados. Kristen Price said, "My wife told me to never eat from the dead. I dreamed a lot about my mother fixing a meal for us to eat." Okay, I'm curious about that. I'm not familiar with that advice. I'd love to hear more about that. Michelle said, I had my daughter in 1996 too. Okay, who else had a baby in 1996? GGX, it's a gift, but I don't know how to tap. I missed put on 3K yesterday because I woke up late. Okay. All right, so I was asking you all about what was I asking about? Oh, about the kinds of dreams that you all are having and if you ever had a premonition in a dream or got information in a dream that turned out to be true and made you uncomfortable in some way. I'm curious how you all handled that. Um, let's go to weird dreams lately. Oh, before I go into doing a couple mini readings, if you guys want me to teach like a whole workshop on dream interpretation, because I don't do the normal dream interpretation of this means that. I take people through an exercise that invites your higher self to explain exactly what the dream means for you. And it's not so you, even if you two people have the same dream, because their situation or their perspective is different, it's actually going to have two completely different meanings. So yes, while I was talking about the fish and whatever, and that might be a cultural thing, most dreams are not going to fit that mold of I can just look up the symbolism and this means that. You know, it's a very personal thing. And how are you going to let a book tell you what spirit is saying to you? Like specifically to you, either spirit, God, ancestors, angels, or your higher self cutting through the ego and the conscious self and getting right to the intuitive piece that's important for you to know. And I learned this method of dream interpretation, oh gosh, 20 plus years ago from a teacher of mine, Nina, and it totally changed my life because up until that point I was looking up symbols, you know, in books and in the early days of the internet and whatever. And sometimes it would be accurate. Most of the time, it was just like okay, but the method that I teach really, you kind of workshop it. You get a worksheet and you write down certain parts of the dream and then compare them. It's like it's a whole process. If there's enough interest, I will teach the workshop. So let me put this URL. So if I get 20 people who sign up for the wait list, again, nothing doesn't cost anything to join the wait list, then I will actually do the workshop. Because right now I'm on the fence because I got some other things to do. Let me put this URL in the chat to see if there's enough interest. It's jamilawhite.com/dreams. And let me also put it on the screen. Okay. So I'm putting on the screen also jamilwhite.com/dreams. If you are interested in a dream interpretation workshop, I've had people ask me in the past to do one. And I've toyed with the idea. It wasn't a priority at that time, but because so many people are asking me about dreams, it might be, I don't know, I'm thinking it might be beneficial to actually do an in-depth workshop where we work things out. I teach you the method and I actually in real time will put some people in the hot seat or love seat, as I like to say, in stressful situations. But we actually workshop your dream. So yeah, if there's enough people, if 20 people sign up for the wait list, I'll do it. Hey, Keenan. What's up, Keenan? Oh my goodness, I love you too. My New Orleans family and my New Orleans Reiki folk. Okay. Sarah said, yes, I would love a workshop. Sign up for the wait list. That's how I'll know if there's enough interest. I just put the URL in the chat and I'm putting it on the screen. Go to jamilawhite.com/dreams. Just your first name and your email address, and that'll be enough for if there's enough people, I'll then message you with the date, time, and all the details. GGX said, I dreamt about my cousin getting married. I called the next day and she said she was supposed to get married the day before, but it was postponed. Okay. Susu says, I want to do more dream work. Yes. Okay. Make sure you put sign up for the wait list so that I know I can gauge the interest. Sarah said, my dreams are always doing the most. Last night I was surfing on a stingray underwater with the avatar people. Second time I've had that dream. I need a workshop ASAP. Yes, ma'am. Yes, you do. With the avatar people. Okay. Let me see about these other comments here. DST16 said, my dreams that happen right before I wake up are usually a message for me. I call them my twilight dreams, and I know they usually give me answers that I will. that I need or will need. Yes. Our dreams are such a valid source of data, information, advice, and guidance. A lot of times we ask questions during the daytime that get answered during the dream time if we're paying attention. Also, I encourage everybody to write down their dreams, or even if you don't, if you're still half asleep, just put it in the voice note, because the dream might not answer the question you have today, but it might answer the question that you haven't asked yet that you're going to have next week. And sometimes you go back through your dream journal and see the answer to something you're dealing with right now, and it was given to you in a dream like 3 weeks ago, or 6 months ago, but it's in there specifically, right? Yeah. So here's another thing. Okay, I have a question for y'all. If you dream about somebody you know, do you call and tell them? I'm curious. Do you call and tell them? Should you call and tell them? I typically do. If I dream about somebody that I know, unless it's like an ex or somebody that I'm not talking to for good reason. But I will always ask their permission, like, "Hey, you popped up in my dream. Do you want me to tell you about it?" I'm always big on asking permission, getting consent before sharing spiritual information or dream information with people, or intuitive information, because A, not everybody wants it. B, they may want it, but not in that moment. Like, is that a good time for them to receive information? It's always their choice. And if they say no, I respect that, although nobody ever really says no. Oh, let me go back in these. Tucson said, yes, I've had premonitions and dreams often, and depending on the dream or situation, I'd keep it to myself and make notes. Others I'd share. Yeah. Nikki says yes. GGX says yes. Shantae says not always, it depends. Benita, hey Benita. She says yes. She agrees. Okay, so Rachel says she's been watching stingrays where she lives. They're so enigmatic. Okay, maybe Rachel and Sarah need to have a conversation about stingrays. Susan says, I do. I'm talking, this is regarding whether you tell people. Unless it's about a death. Sometimes I think people have a hard time with that one. Yeah, Solanda. Oh, Solanda. Hey, Solanda. I didn't realize that was you. Okay, so yeah, about a death. I don't usually, first of all, it's rare for me to get dreams about death. But in the event that I do, I don't usually, that's the one thing I don't share voluntarily. Um, I might ask them if they've been to the doctor. They're not asking them about death, because, first of all, for me in dreams, death isn't always about death. Death is often about an ending or transformation. So I'm not trying to scare people unnecessarily. Again, this is just me and my dreams. Your dreams might be different. And if it is true, how is that information going to be useful to somebody? So no. And I've asked Spirit to not give me that information because I don't need it, don't want it. Okay, so back to go to jamilawhite.com/dreams if you are interested in being on the wait list, or just to vote that you want me to do a dream workshop. If I end up doing the dream workshop and you're watching this on a replay and it's days or weeks from now, then the actual workshop information and replay information will be on that page as well. Again, it's all if. I need 20 people to say yes to make it worth my while, because I'm not going to do the workshop. It's just like 5 people who are interested. Then I'll do a different workshop. Okay, what are your questions? Who wants an intuitive reading? If you want intuitive reading, don't put yes, I do. Just drop your question and I'll pull a couple questions. I'm doing some readings. I am a medium. I am a psychic, intuitive, clairvoyant, clairaudient, claircognizant, all the clairs. Um, and sometimes I use this deck of collage cards called the Voyager deck. It's a tarot deck, but I don't use them as tarot because it helps me go really, really fast with my information. Um, Crystal says, no, I don't. I also, but the person in my dreams is just a placeholder, not an actually them. Right. That's what I mean about sometimes it's about the energy of that person. DST 16 says, depending on the person in the dream, I've dreamed 2 friends were physically big and pregnant. I ask each what projects they are working on and what's holding them. Amy says, can you send me a general message? All right, we're getting into the readings. Amy was first, so we're going with Amy. How are you, Amy? It's good to see you. There's a lot of deltas in here today. Some sorors. All right, let's see what's going on with you, Amy. General reading. Oh, first of all, 2 things. One, I saw a vision of a queen with a cape. Like, it's time for you to take for your rightful place in something, whether it's in your life, but like, put the crown on. Put the crown on and walk around like you mean it. Also, a card literally jumped out my hands out the deck while I was um, shuffling, and it jumped on the floor. Okay, now this is fish. When I see fish in the dream or in the cards, it's usually about a pregnancy or positive fertility omen. So that's the general meaning. Put your crown on and walk like you mean it. And also, ma'am, do we need to have a conversation? Oh, Asela's in here. What's up, Sora? Ahene had a question. Oh, where'd it go? Will I be able to travel in July? You are able to travel in July, yes. The real question is, do you want? Are you able to travel the way that you want to? Because the short answer is yes, but the question is the way that you want to. Um, okay, sometimes y'all ask me questions like it's about fate, and what they tell me is that this is not a question of fate, but it's about choice. And in this case, they're saying that this is about, are you willing to do what needs to be done in order to travel? But they're saying if you want it, go get it. If you want to travel, go. They're saying it's not necessarily about this external thing, that the external thing that you're waiting for it to line up is not deception, but you place so much value on the external that this is about you on the internal. And that once you decide on the internal, then the external happens with respect to you traveling this summer. Also, I mean, there might be a slight date change, but yeah, the short answer is yes. Salonda, I'm thinking about where my work is headed. Where should my focus and my where should I focus, and is my health affected by my work? Yes, your health is affected by your work. Well, your health is affected by how you feel about your work, and your health is affected by your perceptions about your work. This isn't just for you, this is for other people. Just like many of the messages, when one person gets an answer, a lot of times it is applicable to a lot of other people. But Solana, yes. Um, what I'm seeing around you, Solana, is great gifts, great talent, great skills, great knowledge, and questioning yourself because you're not getting the results that you want, or not getting the work that you want, or the salary that you want, or the business that you want. But they're telling me that this is not about skill, that you've internalized it to wonder if you're good enough. But they're saying the real issue is visibility and marketing. There's some marketing strategy and tweaks that aren't aligned with what you're doing or who you really need to be talking to, because they're saying that you're incredibly skilled, and there's a misalignment with the people who need and want your services, whether they're clients or an employer or a contract or whatever, versus who actually is seeing what you do. The people who need and want you and can afford to pay you what you deserve are not the people who are seeing you. They can't see you. So you may need to talk to somebody about marketing strategy. And if it's on the business side, career side, like job employment, or your clients would be like other businesses or professionals, make sure you're on LinkedIn with a specific strategy. Maybe you need to talk to someone who's an expert in that. But yes, your health is, but they're telling me that your health is about how you feel about you. There's some internalized self-worth issues because you haven't seen the results that you want, and it's made you question everything. And then that's also this feeling of less than that also is affecting your health. So there's some internal work around self-love and self-esteem, self-worth, but then there's some external work around looks like matchmaking. There are people who want to give you money, but those people can't see you. So either you're not visible, or you're not visible in the places where your employer or clientele would be. That's what they're telling me. I hope that's helpful. DST 16 says, what do my ancestors want me to know right now? That you need to laugh more. I don't know what that's about, but they said right away, you need to laugh more, stop being so serious, have more fun, and bring more levity and lightheartedness into something that feels heavy, serious, or hoity toity. Like let loose a little bit in the places where you normally wouldn't let loose. Black Velveteen says, what do I need to do to increase clients and cash flow? Let me tune into that. Okay, first thing is that your energy is not a match for the cash flow you want. When I tune into your energy, it was constricted, almost like, okay, literally what I saw was blood vessels and high blood pressure, like plaque in the veins and arteries, which meant that the blood couldn't get through as fast as it needs to. But flow is flow. So I don't know whether you're having a cardiovascular issue as well. But that's the image that they gave me when talking about cash flow, is that there was, you have not become the container for the amount of money that you want, and that there's some internal work around that. Also, as far as cash flow is going, there's some also this, there's a theme here because Solana has some of this stuff, but yours is a little different. There's some there's some mucky muck energy around not believing that you can charge what you really need to charge. And it's not, it doesn't show up like, I don't believe I can charge it. It shows up as, what will they think if I raise my rates or offer this package? That they're saying like you're lowballing yourself with your offers. Also visibility. All right, let's see what else is happening here. General message for Crystal. Witchy, witchy, witchy. You so witchy in the best way. I'm seeing messages through animals, whether they're actual animals or spirit animals or animal energy that you work with. I'm also seeing the issue in front of whatever you think the issue is that's separating you from where you want to be, that the real issue is fear. And but they're also showing me that you're this close, this close to a financial breakthrough. So, um, if you've been doing something with animal energy or working with particular animal energy, a spirit guide, a totem, a familiar, or something, that's part of the breakthrough around the money. Um, I'm also seeing big cats and a big old ram. So I don't know if that's literal or if that's zodiac Leo and Aries, but I'm seeing that. But yeah, you're entering into a really beautiful phase, where you get to reap the benefit of a lot of the seeds that you've been planting over years. So yeah, keep us posted, Crystal. Monica says, "Will I move soon?" You are moving. The question is soon. That's what is showing up to me. Is the question is the when, is not the if. So are you moving soon? I don't know what soon means to you, but they're talking about like summer and September. August, September is lit up. But you'll have some news about something in about a month. So it could be as early as June, but they're basically saying summer. So I don't know what your time frame is, but by September, this is all done. But you are moving. I like the energy of the move and where you're moving to. I think it's a good fit for you. But they're saying, yeah, I don't know what soon means for you, but they're saying by September everything is settled. Could be as early as 1 month, but you'll have definitely have information, concrete information in a month from now. Valerie says, why are the ancestors visiting me now more than ever? Because they know you listening. It's not that deep. They know you're listening. It's like that movie Ghost with Whoopi Goldberg. When the ghost realized that she could hear them, they all start showing up. So ancestors are visiting you more now because you're more open and receptive and less resistant to it. Tucson says, yes, I tell them. That's when people show up in her dreams. Rachel says, so I made that huge move across the world that you inspired me to. Oh, yay! To the islands. It's been arduous readjusting. I'm here for any advice. Ooh, child. That's a whole conversation about adjusting to expat life, moving to another country, another culture, sometimes even another language. My advice as an expat, someone who has lived abroad and is going back to living abroad at the end of this year, is first just take your time and take the pressure off yourself to just instantly assimilate into a whole other culture and country. um, for me, and this is my advice to everybody, community is key. Whether that's community of other expats and nomads, community of locals, but community is key. Find someone else that you have in common with yourself, whether it's point of origin or an interest, and build community. Otherwise, it can feel very isolating and you can miss home like crazy. I mean, homesickness is a fact of life, but how you navigate that, a lot of that has to do with creating community. I was trying to create community. Like, if I'm gonna move to another country, this is 2020. I probably ought to know somebody there because, like, the one person I knew was back in the States. He's not living there anymore. His wife was Bayesian and then she was in grad school, so they left for her to go to grad school in the States. So when I moved, I was like, "Oh, it's probably a good idea if I move to another country if I have like somebody else's phone number in that country." Because wouldn't that be crazy? So I put a message on Facebook. It snowballed, and that's how I ended up creating community. Was first with other people who had just moved or were about to move, and then it branched out from there. And whole turning to a whole other thing because that community is now 4,000 people that I manage. That's a whole separate thing called Barbados Black Pats. So me asking for community for myself, please God, can I just get 2 or 3 friends, turned into 4,000 people. Not 4,000 people there, but 4,000 people in the group, including those who are interested in moving, and probably 600 or so who are on the island because Barbados is small. So my advice is creating community and also visit home. You don't feel like you have to prove something by not visiting home. When you miss your people and you feel homesick, go visit. Um, and stay connected to your people at home, your friends and family while you're building community where you are. But start if you don't have community, start with nowadays there's a Facebook group for basically every country that you're considering moving to. I ended up starting the Facebook group for my community. But that's a great way to meet people before and during your move. Great question. Kathy says, "Can you send me a message?" Okay, quick message for Kathy. Then we're gonna go back to talking about dreams for a second. Kathy, you're going somewhere like physically. So this is a move, a trip, a vacation, a relocation, or you're just astral traveling as fuck. But like, I feel like you're out, you're going over there. I don't know what that means specifically, but I feel like it's more physical than not, and I feel like it's a place you've been to before. So you're going back somewhere to visit, or back someplace to move, or back somewhere to retrieve something. But there's kind of a going back to something that is something's going to come full circle. So that's the message. Is about movement. Hey, Anita, how are you? Thank you for coming. And Tucson says regarding other people in dreams, yes, and she does ask if it's okay too. Nikki says congratulations. I don't know what that's for and to who. Miss Ronnie says hello, hello, hello. Yanita says, "Will I be able to find a well-paying job in 2026?" Tuning in. I like your prospects for that. Um, I feel like you're going to have to let go of some kind of preconceived notion, and I think that has to do with where you're looking. So the job that's going to pay you more, that's also aligned and a good fit for you, and not a job that pays more but makes you miserable, but a job that pays more. It's either not in the field that you're in, or not in the field that you're looking, or you might take your same skills and use it in a different industry. So there's something changing about where you're looking. Um, and it's not just the next logical career step of I'm doing this and then I go to the next level up. I feel like I'm doing this and then I come over here to use those skills. So look in industries and in companies that you are thinking that you may not have thought of, because I feel like somebody's actually looking for your skill set but they're not in your industry, but you're kind of looking in the typical places. And I feel like whatever this is that's coming for you is not in the typical place that you would think of. It's kind of out of the box, but it's actually going to be a beautiful fit. Broaden your footprint, and make sure that your resume and your LinkedIn really focuses on skills and not just chronologically, I worked here, I worked here, I worked here, and then the next step is there. But make sure that it really emphasizes the skills and how those skills can be used in different ways. Because I feel like that's how this other position is coming. Ahene said regarding traveling in July, yes, I am. I received that. Good. Okay. Tucson said, am I on the right track? What do I need to do? What do I need to know? Yes, you're on the right track. We're always on the right track. We're always on the right, exactly where we're supposed to be. Okay, what do you need to know? Spirit's real clear about that. One, tune into your magic. You're blocking your intuition in a lot of ways or not trusting it. Two, harmonious relationships are going to be key in this season of your life. Relationships of all kinds, friends, lovers, spouses, co-workers, colleagues, collaborators, playmates, all of that, teaching student mentees, all of that. But then the thing that's about what do you need to know that needs addressing is there's some old resentment, and that's the only thing that's in your way that might trip you up. And it's old resentment, or it's an old narrative that's running in your head. And either about what you didn't get, what you should have got, what should have happened but didn't happen, and you have a right to be pissed about it, but holding on to that is either keeping you stuck or slowing you down. I don't feel like it's kept you totally stuck, but it's slowing you down and you're ready to like leap forward. So yeah. Okay. Last question for a while, then we're gonna go to the dream stuff. Career and love, no longer feeling aligned in my job. Love losses, have fearful to venture down this path again. Understood. If you've been hurt, if you've experienced loss, if you've experienced trauma, you've been heartbroken or disappointment, it is hard, but disappointed. It is hard to put yourself back out there. Um, Career and love. Okay, that's like a whole reading. So I'm just going to pick one of these questions. Career. It is time to make a move, but you already know the answer. And whether that means you get a bridge job, which is a less stressed job that pays some bills while you put your real gifts forward and build that up, or whether you actually find an employee position in what is the gifts of your heart that you want to give. You know what those gifts are. You already know the way that you help people, and putting that into a package and an offer. You're going to surprise yourself with people who actually want what you have, and you have so much to give. We need to have a deeper conversation though. But yes, don't spend any time thinking about whether you should do it. Just do it. That's just it. Just do it. Do it scared. Okay. Solana Susu says, thank you. You're welcome. I'm gonna come back to some of these questions, but oh, it's 11 o'clock. Okay, we're gonna talk about dreams a little bit. So people who have questions about dreams, not me interpreting your dream, but questions about dreaming. And if you want me to teach a workshop on dream interpretation, like uh, go to jamilawhite.com dreams and let me know. And if 20 people tell me yes, they want me to do it, then I will create this workshop and teach it in the next couple of weeks. Um, I think I kind of want to do it, but like I said, I got some competing priorities. I need to know if this is a priority to do now or later. Mm. By the way, one of the reasons why I haven't been doing the live so much, I'm talking all the time on Zoom and whatnot, but I'm talking to a closed group. I've been working like exclusively with the women in my group coaching program on how to create a delicious life. So I've been doing that for like the past year. And I realized that I really have not been doing many lives because I'm getting so much joy out of working with people in that way, with women in that way, and actually seeing their progress in real time. So I am going to do more lives though. But that's been really amazing working with the women in group coaching. Okay, so let me see what's going on in the comments and the questions. Scrolling, scrolling. You're welcome, Shantae. Oh, Nikki said, congratulations to the possible pregnant person and sending doula love. Yes. Keisha Lisa, what's up, Blackbird? Okay, all my Reiki folks are up in here. Yes. Monica said, hopefully in a month. Okay. Yes, he said that was an immediate message. Duly noted. Ancestors duly noted. Oh, so Crystal, I had seen the lion and the ram, and she said I'm a Leo sun and an Aries moon. I receive and thank you. You're welcome because it can't. Your ancestors been speaking loud, loud. All right, who has questions about dreams and whether I should do this dream interpretation workshop? Go to this URL. I just put it on the chat. Let me see. Did anybody come through? All right. All right, y'all. So, do, 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 do. If you sign up for the wait list and then you get an email back that you have to confirm or something, because I just set this up like 5 minutes before the live, make sure you do the confirmation so that it gets noted. All right. Yanita, you're welcome. Okay, so I'm gonna take like two or three more readings. Jamie says, "Will I launch successful additional revenue streams in the next year? Hopefully, passive." This is not a fake question. This is a will you? Are you going to do it? Have you decided that you will question? Kristen says, "My Gemini 10th house with Uranus. I've been reading that the things will dissolve because it will no longer serve me. I feel like I'll always play things, jobs, self image, careers safe. I would like to know if this is the beginning of the end." This is another. This is not a fake question. This is a have you decided to embrace the most delicious version of your life and the most delicious version of yourself? This is not an external thing where the world gets to dictate to you um, what you're going to do next. This is about you deciding this is what I'm going to do and not waiting for some other person, including me, to give you permission. That's the message. Okay. Bakari, okay. Follow up for Bakari. Any words of wisdom for speaking my truth, especially when I don't feel safe? Thank you. Yes. Speaking your truth doesn't always mean speaking it to the person because sometimes it's not safe. Real talk. Especially if you've come out of an abusive or traumatic situation, but still speak it. Speak it to another person, speak it to a therapist, speak it to a pastor, speak it to your besties, write it out and then burn it up or channel it through into some song or some artwork. But release it because if you suppress it, it's going to fester. And ultimately, you can't suppress anything. We can't suppress anything. Eventually, it's going to come out. And you can either give it voice and be empowered and choose how it comes out, or it's going to come out like a fart that you tried to hold in and come out at the most inopportune time. Like holding in your truth is like trying to hold in a fart. That's the message. You can hold it in for so long, but eventually it's going to come out and it's not going to come out the way that you wanted it to come out. That's what this is going to be. But all jokes aside, it may not feel safe, but it's a practice. So start by just saying it out loud and naming it to yourself and then tell somebody else or write it out. Um it may need to be said to like in your dream you were talking about how you were cussing people out in the dream. Maybe you don't need to cuss them out, but maybe you do need to practice advocating for yourself and speaking your truth. And sometimes no is a whole sentence. You don't even have to justify. It really depends on the situation. But there's some work around that. There's some work around that. Two things I recommend. Oh, I don't have it in front of me. My book, A Year of Self Love Journal, which helps build confidence and self love and self worth. And then also, there's a really great book by Dr. Nidra Tawwab. And please don't let me mangle this title. Something about no boundaries, no peace, and it's KNOW. No boundaries, no peace. It's really, really good. Okay, let's see. Okay. I am going to yeah, I can't do no more readings tonight, but questions about dreams. Let's say tonight. This morning. Keisha Lisa said my dreams this past few weeks have been all over the place. Yes. Jamari said I had a wild, violent dream the other night. I will spare the details, but wondering if anything I need to know about it. Hard to say without knowing the details, but the violence, there's a way to look at it is what was the energy of the violence? Was it coming from you or to you? And what was the energy of the person or thing that the violence was coming from? Because there's one school of thought that you are every character in your dream and that it's actually different parts of yourself that are working things out. So we all have the capacity to be violent, but most of us choose not to be. So it may have been what is the violence? What is that about? What is the anger or what is the fear? And also, did something actually get destroyed, whether it was you or part of you or something else? Is there something that needs to be destroyed in the current lifetime? Or is this just you're angry in real life and your subconscious is working it out? So without knowing more, it's hard to say, but that would be exactly the kind of situation that would be perfect for the dream workshop because we would actually workshop specific dreams. So, and if I do this workshop, like I said, if I get 20 people signed up with interest, I'll go ahead and do the workshop. But in the workshop, where it's not just, oh, let me give y'all some theory. When you leave that workshop, you will have completely analyzed at least one of your own dreams and come away with the very specific message from spirit and your higher self that was contained in that dream. Like, and then you can use that method for any of your future and past dreams. You will be equipped with this technique that I use personally in my own life with my own dreams, but also with my coaching clients on how to interpret and analyze and get to the heart of a dream. So if you didn't already go to jamilawhite.com/dreams and let me know if you all are interested. Like I said, if I get 20 people, I'm doing it. Okay. Thank you for that. Let's see. Rachel, regarding expat life, thanks so much. I felt better since linking up with a few folks here who are my tribe. Yes, good. Sarah said, I have 5011 questions about dreams, so I've signed up on the wait list on the workshop. Also going to book a birthday reading because 5011 things, good shit finally to chat about. Thanks for all you do. Oh, thank you, Sarah. Yay. Um, and Nikki says, are all dreams in color significant? Oh, that's interesting. I don't know. Depends. What's the energy of the color? What's the energy of the colors or what's the energy of the black and white? Everything's about energy. But if it's significant, if it feels significant to you, it's because it probably is. All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out on a Saturday morning. Oh, look, it is 11:11 my time, East Coast time. Perfect. Perfect way to end this wonderful um session on this live stream on dreams with the mini readings and all of the above. I really do appreciate y'all taking time out of a Saturday morning to come hang out, rock with a sister. Let's keep this conversation about dreams going. If enough people haven't checked yet the list, if enough people signed up, I am going to go forward with doing that dream technique workshop. And if so, then I'll go ahead also and announce it to the list. But those who sign up for the wait list, assuming my technology worked correctly, fingers crossed, would also get like an early bird discount because they took the time to do that and to come here. Thank you, Crystal, for posting that. Um, my URL again, jamilawhite.com/dreams. Oh, before we go, happy birthday, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers. Happy Mother's Day to my mama. And I don't know if y'all can see this, but Pink Magazine, which is a local newspaper here in South Carolina, did a feature on my mom and me and my sister for Mother's Day. What page is this on? It is so cool. There's an online version. I have to find a URL. I put it in my email newsletter. Okay, where's the page? I thought I had bookmarked the page. But they did a whole full page thing of me and my mom and my sister because we're all writers. And it was in honor of Mother's Day. My mom has a book out that came out in December. It's called Reiki Heart and Soul. And it's stories about diverse Reiki practitioners. Okay, where is, I can't find the page. Here it is. You see it? Whole big old page here in Pink Magazine. So shout out to mom and shout out to, it's on page 44. So shout out to Pink Magazine for featuring us. I'll put it in my email newsletter. So if I don't have your email, shoot it to me in a direct message so I can add you to the list. Everybody have a beautiful weekend. Happy Mother's Day. And if Mother's Day is tricky or complicated or painful for you, my heart goes out to you. And it's totally okay to feel how you feel. All right. Thank you so much. I love y'all. Mwah. Have a beautiful day.